All right, good evening, race fans. Welcome to another Dash Mystery Race. Tonight between AceZer0 and Iron Rusty. I am Vincent RTA, joined tonight with AceZer0 doing our tracking, and the legend Tracy on comms with me. How you doing tonight, Tracy?
I'm doing great. Thanks for the compliment. I don't know if I'm a legend, but I do enjoy a good Super Metroid race. Two good players. This is a 2-2 matchup. So one of these players is going to punch their ticket into the brackets, and the other one will have another chance next week. So this isn't quite do or die, but I know for both of our runners here, they're going to want to win tonight and hopefully have a, just a slightly more relaxed situation next week. Just play for seeding as opposed to the do or die that'll come up next week.
Yeah, and it obviously for their peace of mind moving forward in the event, like just locking up that win now would be much easier. I mean, either way, if one of them wins one of the next two races, they're into that playoff bracket. But just solidifying that now would be a lot easier. These are two very good runners. I've watched both of them. I've actually gamed with Rusty quite a bit, and I've seen Ace in plenty of the randomizer races. So. I'm expecting a really good run for both of them. And for those of you who don't know, Tracy's the one that organizes almost all the comms that you hear on all these events. So that's kind of why I call her the legend, because none of this would happen without Tracy organizing a lot of it. She's like she's the queen of getting all of that taken care of.
Yeah, I mean, I like to make sure that our runners deserve to be on the air. Get some commentary, get some people talking about them. We've actually done really well this year. We've gotten all our races on, and that's just not just a testament to my work, but also to all the volunteers and Rick Adirondack Rick in the background getting us channels all the time. It's a very busy time of the year with SG Live going. In the meantime, Ace showing off no moonfall. One of our few holdouts for no moonfall.
There are definitely some never moonfallers out there.
Yeah, but, I mean, you could win a tournament with no moonfall because I see Aldraxis in chat, and Audra is also a no moonfaller and has won a few tournaments, so you can win without moonfall.
Definitely not a requirement, but obviously something that it can save some frames. But there's also other areas that we got an E-tank to start with. So.
This is major minor.
Yep. All right. Yeah.
Like, no HUD countdown. We got an E-tank. Definitely a major minor. Yep,
that I was gonna say off the very rip, we didn't have a HUD countdown, so we knew we weren't in full countdown, and that E-tank tells us right away. So that means we're gonna come and get morph ball in the ceiling. Morph in the ceiling.
Spoilers. Hey, look, morph in the ceiling.
Hey, look.
Never would have guessed.
And both runners will check this minor on the right, and and it's power bombs. But because we're in major minor, I don't think we're going to see a Billy Mays check as much as I enjoy watching it.
We're not seeing Billy Mays. I mean, you don't even always see it in full. Kind of depends on just what that number is sitting next to that M. But in major minor, we're just not going to see it. We're going to see this other check. It is supers. This is the exact combination you want to have a very safe check of the meme route. Obviously, if it's area, it's a little safer in general, but those supers just give you the opportunity to shoot those side hoppers if you get over there and you find out, whoops, not major minor. I got to kill these side hoppers if I want that door to open.
Yeah, for sure. It also gives them a little bit earlier access to things instead of having to find chase around and find more supers. The last thing you want to do is be on a super hunt or be out of one of the not have one of the minor items early. And getting these missiles is another great early pickup for the runners.
Rusty playing it safe in case this is a vanilla map. It is.
And it is not.
Wait, hang on a second. Okay, not a vanilla map, but close.
Yeah, this is kind of like a French vanilla door. This is.
Yeah, I mean, we're still getting green Brinstar, which is great for our runners. It's exactly what you want to find.
Yeah, this is definitely a much easier area initially to go grab some items. We're seeing both runners. Rusty's like, nope, this is major minor. I don't want a lot of missiles. He just ignores it while Ace does grab them.
I think it's way too early to be skipping missiles. I'm of the grab your missiles until you have... Oh, hi, Croc. This is an interesting one. I'm not doing Croc here. Not with this ammo, not without a charge beam. And Ace immediately decides the same thing. Rusty follows out. Rusty had some thoughts about it.
Dropped a random super there, which I don't quite get, but
Screw attack is nice.
Ooh, okay, that's definitely a nice item early. It makes lower Norfair a lot more manageable.
Oh yeah, screw attack with lower Norfairs is just makes such a big difference down there, in any situation that you could possibly have. See some debate as to who would do this croc and who wouldn't. It's a pretty low ammo croc, so yeah, it is doable. But yeah, definitely not your free croc by any stretch.
No, and you know, I'm someone, if anyone's ever heard me, I believe in always bet on croc, but that feels a little bit early to go see our friend there.
Yeah, now if we don't get distracted by the connector at the top of the front of Green Brinstar, then I think going back to croc on your way out, you should have enough ammo by then, because you know you could be getting a pretty good amount of ammo here in green/pink Brinstar area.
One thing I'm not sad to see for both the runners is getting a couple of tanks early. Those hunting for those sometimes can be a nightmare, and you know, granted that is 2 tanks at the major locations. I would definitely prefer them to have shown up at some, you know, some other places, but you know, you can't. That also could set up for potentially in logic hell run. So you know.
You know what? I think Ace is gonna go do croc right now with these 20 missiles. Now it is major minor. You talk about these E-tanks. The major minor is kind of the E-tank mode, because you're mostly concentrating those major locations, and the E-tanks are part of that. So this is going to be really interesting early on. This could be a differentiator. Again, depending on what's on the other side of this portal.
Yeah, I mean, we see Rusty is continued on to go to the main area Green Bryn, and we see
another E-tank.
Edicoons, there's an E-tank, there's power bombs. Okay, so they're going to be okay.
Yeah, so far all Green Brinstar has given us is E-tanks, so yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if there's actually something good in one of these locations. Ace gonna play it safe, not gonna grab this item right away, might wait till after. 2 tanks is enough to get out and get through, but it is dangerous. Like, if you make any kind of mistake in that acid, and you are gonna die. And then if it's not an E-tank, yeah, you can be in trouble. So what a lot of runners will do, they'll do this last, come back here, take the save just in case. If it's an E-tank, you're getting back. If it's something really good, you want to know. And one more Green Brinstar item we're going to see on Rusty's side, plus a nice little super missile there. That'll be good for our runners. And it's Various suit, okay.
Area, okay, well.
So this needs to be for Ace. I mean, there are a lot of things that could be. A charge beam would be real good. Obviously, gravity suit would be the kind of the best thing that Ace could find. Also, speed or ice for the Meridia area. Yeah,
well, he's definitely going to want to see a big movement item here. Not if you knew that Rusty now has this Varia, that's a big and early advantage here. It's that green gate glitch pretty easy. Looked like it was a second or third shot there. That can be tough if you're not used to it. Rusty with a quick little farming of super missiles here. And is gonna go check this top of green bin.
Just an E-tank.
Oof.
Well, there's still the other item. And with the extra E-tank, it'll make the other item easier to get.
Yeah, with 3, it feels much more accessible. 2 is definitely a very much a challenge.
Yeah, plus Ace can take the save ahead of time just to make sure that they're not just gonna take an early death. And of course, yeah, Red Brinstar. So this is gonna distract Rusty. Okay, this is
okay.
Now with this ammo, I mean, it doesn't have to be Ridley down there, but like, yeah, you're not clearing Lower Norfair right now.
That's a lot of time if you aren't completely sure.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree with the wait on that until later. But Red Tower here is definitely it's a good place to find early, with it being such a connector in these randos, because there's what, 4 or 5 portals that work off of this, and
6 actually.
6, yeah.
Yeah.
And now we've also got the Spazer and potentially X-Ray to go check. So just a
And
trash
unfortunately,
can.
Croc is just a complete bust.
Oh,
Complete bust. That's unfortunate.
an E-tank and a trash can. That's all.
Yep.
Oof.
So Rusty maybe never even gets back there at this point. And Ace not going to feel good when that various suit shows up.
No, definitely not. That Rusty skipping that now looks very good, especially if he's able to find go mode items with that without ever having to come back by that location.
Yep.
Then he'll just never look at that portal twice. Does find Turian, so
Well,
Turian
good,
off
good,
of.
Good to know your dead ends early. Only dead end left is Kraid, and of course that's the one that's hard required early. Obviously Turian's hard required eventually, but we don't really want to go there until the very end.
No, or if you just already have way more than enough ammo and are super confident in the Ridley fight, just in case, and can go for it. But or actually have a way to get out of Dragon's lair. Obviously those things are kind of necessary to finish those 2 bosses, but it's really rough when it's only at best a 50-50 shot that you're gonna get a killable boss.
Okay, Ace is gonna get this E-tank. We'll get filled up. We'll have the extra E-tank in reserve on Rusty. If the various the reserve tank is a little more significant in the situation where you don't get a various suit, that E-tank will help you out in a Ridley fight. Having that reserve tank in particular would help you out in the Ridley fight. If you can kill Ridley without a reserve being popped, then you should survive it. But not going to be an issue because Ace is going to get that very suit right now. And Rusty says no to Upper Norfair, which is interesting because I think he's checked everywhere else. I feel like Upper Norfair is a pretty good place to go right now with that various suit.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked he's turning around. You can easily get to Business Center, and there's a couple of really quick checks there. Not hard to get to Bubble Mountain, but instead, he's going to go back to this portal, which brings us back to Criteria. This was Terminator.
Yeah, there you go. Getting the portal information, I feel like if the goal is to get this information right here, you do that before. Oh. Hey there, it's Upper Norfair from the other direction. And doubling back for the Terminator item makes a lot of sense here too. I don't know that I go all the way back to BT or do a gauntlet check, which we could do.
Yeah, I think that's probably going too far.
But that's a lot of backtracking for items that can't be your gravity suit, and a charge beam is nice.
Okay, well that makes this backtracking worth it. If he, especially, we are going to continue up Terminator. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's obviously ice or speed would be the things that Rusty would hope to find in one of these locations.
And as someone pointed out in chat, getting rewarded for skipping missiles with that charge beam, fine. That's
Yeah, I'm still not skipping missiles until I have a decent beam. That's a lot of shots on Mother Brain, but plasma will make it much better.
well. How about that? This beam has definitely made its made its thought on how you're supposed to route it known.
Ace seeing the Lower Norfair portal also says no to it. Yeah, I just don't know that Ace is going to make all those checks in Criteria, so may even miss the charge beam. He's probably going to miss the plasma beam. Now, does Rusty go for the home run to get the like an ice beam over at
230?
230 doesn't have anything Gauntlet.
That's right, 230 is the Chozo.
On the other hand, Ace might just find this portal and get everything the other direction. We're even going to see the CWJ. That first jump looked good.
Yeah, but look where Rusty is now. He is now kind of coming up, and he's doing following the same path, but he's also got, charge beam and plasma. So,
Well, what's
And
interesting here is if whatever this is on the other side isn't is something that Ace doesn't want, say a Meridia or something, Ace will probably do all the checks here in criteria that Rusty just did, and we'll just find everything from the other side. Just I just hope that Ace doesn't spend too much time on the CWJ unsuccessfully.
well, it looks like both runners are going to go for it now. This is definitely not an easy one.
No, CWJ is not free for anyone. It's like Rusty's going to give up on it. I don't blame him. It's definitely one of those things where, you know, I'm really surprised Ace is committing so hard to this after the croc play netted just an energy tank and a reserve tank. But this could be pretty big if it's something good. But I'm not sure what it could be that would be big enough. And does get it. Does end up in Meridia, and it says absolutely not. This is not where I want to be. But it's good knowledge. Now, the question is, does Ace go back into Red Tower, or does Ace go and do the criteria checks? Nope, we're going back to Red Tower.
All right, well.
And Rusty's doing Gauntlet.
Well, you've got plenty of energy. You've got that screw attack, which makes this whole trip pretty much free. And with Charged Plasma, nothing stands in his way anyway, so this is...
yeah, without Space Jump, this isn't completely free, but it is close. And just an X-ray scope, so
to go with Charged Plasma.
Yeah, that'll be great. That'll be good for Dragon. Other than that,
and
not gonna make much of a difference.
Dragon, Botwoon, and Pantoon. So.
Yeah, Dragon. Yeah, that's true. Basically for those bosses in particular.
So Criteria, as someone in chat pointed, Criteria set up the entire microwave combo.
Chat asking, does Ace know the extra deboost? Yes, Ace does know the extra deboost, so we might see that here. We're not seeing a save, so it looks like we're not going to see that, but... no, we are going to see it without the save. Not a fan. I am not a fan of doing this without the save. Does have bombs as a backup. This is actually in logic because of those bombs. So far, so good.
Yeah, but making this look easy. We got that one last jump to get, but nice, very nice. Done. And it's going to be rewarded with another reserve tank. Wow. Yeah. So far, the stuff that Rusty's been checking has come out really good. The stuff Ace has been checking, not so much. And Rusty's gonna go do the upper door fair stuff from the front side. Yeah. Now, I agree with getting the front side here. You got to check that the Kraid portal. So got that information. Now we'll get to see. Going to see the ice location, the high jump boots location. I can only imagine I'll go over to Bubble Mountain and check over there. Of course, there's another portal over there to check as well. So, and we get speed. All right, that'll make checking speed a lot easier.
Yeah, it's going to make a lot of things a lot easier. Plus, now all Rusty needs for a reasonable go mode is a gravity suit.
I honestly, this is set up like Rusty's routing looks nearly flawless. Chat's right. He's playing really aggressive, and it's paying off really well.
I mean, to be honest, the routing. I mean, other than the criteria, that's kind of a like I could see doing it. I could see not doing it. The rest of it's kind of fallen into his lap pretty nicely, and sometimes that just happens. And Ace doing some of these extra checks, just losing time to it. Is going to be really unfortunate for a close race. Now, gravity suit, we don't know where that's going to be. It's going to be, it's going to tell some of the tale here that we haven't seen yet.
Okay, just another E-tank for Rusty, which now we're at the minimum 4 if you have both suits. So, not shying away from that. Not sad to see that.
Well, you need 3, but it's kind of these. The safer amount is, it's kind of nice to have that extra E-tank or two. I kind of like 5 or 6 myself. 7 is what you would want if you want to do stand-up glitch. Ace is going to get this charge, but let's see if Ace continues.
Rusty is really not showing respect for missiles at all.
I mean, now that you've got charge and plasma, I can see skipping the missiles.
Right, but even just seeing the, the purposeful bomb jump over, like,
yeah,
wow, like, okay, like, well, tell us how you really feel about regular missiles, Rusty. Like,
yeah, I think skipping missiles is fine now. So long as you can do a speed zeb skip, it's fine. I assume Rusty can.
Oh yeah, that's definitely in Rusty's wheelhouse.
Yeah, because otherwise, I am also of the opinion that if you can't do a speed zeb skip, you want to be collecting ammo until you have your missiles, He's a little indecisive right now. Until you have the ability to do a zeb skip and a charge beam. So, okay. Oh, okay. Maybe Ace was mixing up which portal was which there. But they're gonna go down here to this upper Norfair and we'll get speed booster. But I don't think Ace is gonna get that plasma beam. Which could, be a huge factor, not just for Ace probably going to continue to pick up ammo, but also, the Mother Brain fight itself.
Does get that speed from Ice. Rusty's trying to do this bubble mountain jump. Not free at all without high jump. Very difficult without high jump.
I mean, with high jump, you probably do it from the other side. The problem is when you do it from the other side without high jump, you have to go do it through the door. And because you have to do it through the door, every time you fail, you have to do a door transition just to get it going. So it's generally, if you can get that right side wall jump fast enough, it's generally better. Plus, the window to get it, if you have speed booster on, is much tighter. So it's usually better to just turn that speed booster off if you're doing it through the door like that. And then you have to remember to turn it back on over here because this lava is going to rise regardless of whether you have your speed booster turned on or not. So.
All right. So Rusty will definitely go check the wave is the next item check. I know, unless he's gonna go check.
I think we're gonna do the reserve first. I like this better just because as long as if your plan is to do the portal, you want to do wave last. Nice deboost.
Very nice. Yeah, Rusty plays a lot of very strange seeds and a lot of and purposely makes some very difficult plandos to have to fight through. So he's definitely capable of doing a lot of the really stupid tricks. I know Ace, she's able to do quite a bit. Oh, wow. Okay. Well,
base jump is nice.
That's a huge movement item for approaching Lower Norfair when you get there. Of course, that solves a lot of accessibility issues. Now we got both runners in. Very, very different routing, but both of them are now sitting here in a bubble mountain together. Now Rusty's going to go check the wave gate item first, and then we'll check out this portal and see where it leads. And I don't know, at this point, Rusty can pretty much go take on anything. We'd obviously like more supers before going to fight Ridley, because that's a way easier fight with supers than just charge plasma, and especially not full wave beam combo. We're missing a lot of damage.
Yeah, and you do want to grab that spring ball because we don't have gravity suit, and until suitless is off the table, spring ball can still be a progression item. At this point, it would have to be for a suitless Meridia play, whereas spring ball can also be a worst room in the game item. But we just found that space jump, and that space jump is is, with one of the things that will make a worse room pretty free. Now, of course, we have backdoor access to Lower Norfair, so none of that really necessary unless the routing just kind of takes our runners in a situation where just more convenient to do it from the front.
That said, I do love finding the item. I think it's a great item. Oh, there. Speaking of, we're back in Meridia. Rusty's gonna go check the take a save here, which I don't dislike at all.
No, you take the save because you're not getting back out of here. I'm not sure you can with the current item set that Rusty has. I know you can do some funny things with spring ball jumps and such, but yeah,
that's a huge time sink.
Yeah, exactly.
We know where this goes.
Yes, this goes to the CWJ spot in Criteria. Rusty gave up on this. Ace did not. But now Rusty says, you know what? I kind of want to be back here. Now let's see, where did this go? I know both our runners saw this. Right. Okay, this takes us back over to Red Brinstar.
Nice job on the glass clip there for Rusty. That's just going for some swag moves.
Yeah, I mean it's not a tough thing to do. That wasn't in logic with the Varia randomizer, but it is in logic with Dash to do that clip. Which, is significant because, of course, we don't have high jump or gravity, which is the things that would put that in logic in the old version. I thought maybe Rusty would do Lower Norfair, but does want to get this gravity item. So Rusty's going to see this reserve tank that Ace already has.
But because he has space jump through here, this is
much faster. This
is free. Like,
this is free, true free. It's a subtle difference, right? With space jump, it's not quite as free as you'd think because it's very easy to hit things you don't want to hit. Add that screw attack to space jump, and it is completely free.
Sees the tank and is just like, nope.
Yeah, nope, don't want it.
Although we did get to see a little bit of spring ball action there. So I love when runners actually don't forget that they have the item and they actually use it because it is a time save.
Yeah,
in many situations.
Yep. I mean, I'm always been a big fan of spring ball. Ace knows where that portal goes. There's no reason to check it. And since we don't have the items quite yet to do any kind of suitless, we have the spring ball. We would need high jump boots to go with that. Yeah, so chat speculating on where Kraid might be. We haven't seen Rex ship either, so could be one side of Lower Norfair, could be one side of Rex ship, or we could have a really nasty loop. Maybe a Lower Norfair to Rex ship to Kraid or some such thing. Rusty's gonna go ahead and do this Lower Norfair, which at this point I feel like this is a pretty good time to do it. Has a really good beam, so a Ridley fight's not going to be a problem. Plus 15 supers to back it up.
Yeah, it's definitely a doable fight here, and if it's not Kraid, then it's an even easier fight because if it's either Fantoon or Dragon, they're going down to an X-ray very very quickly. And that means Rusty can just go check the other portals and be done with the area, unless, of course, one of these other portals leads to a dead end that we're. Actually, probably the best thing for Rusty here is that he sees maybe Kraid at one of the other portals.
Okay, Ace wants to go back to this portal over at Croc, which I think we saw. I think we've seen this one.
We have.
Ah, yes, back to... Oh, yeah. No, wait, no, we haven't.
Top side of West Meridia. We have seen this one.
Okay. Oh, okay, we just haven't seen it. I'm not sure what Ace thinks they're gonna check here. Because they've seen both of the portals that you followed that are maybe, oh, you know what? This is a Mama Turtle play.
Yeah, I think so.
This is not in logic until we get high jump or you want to go through the other? Okay, this will work. This is not in logic until you get either high jump boots or gravity, but we can go see the item because of that space jump, because half of this area is not underwater. So if this is nothing, Ace just resets, and it is just an E-tank. Ace doesn't need an E-tank, or perhaps wants one of the other portals. Ace knows where all these go, so could choose to take any one of them. Could reset to the top, or could take one of the two portals back to those places. Unfortunately, cannot check the one last portal, which could go to Wrecked Ship, could go to Kraid. There's a few places it could go.
Rusty does do a great job there. The speed echoes kill the first metal pirate, and then triple supers the next, and is ready to see this boss portal, and we'll find out what we get in a second here. I don't mind this at all.
our first piece of boss information. Meanwhile, we'll see where Ace decides to go.
And we have... Oh, wow. Okay.
We have a shifted...
Shifted, yes.
Shifted Kraid.
Yes. In case you don't know, shifted, we say shifted because normally if this was shuffled, Kraid would, instead of showing the lower Norfair, LN for lower Norfair at the top, it would say KL for Kraid's lair, or KR for Kraid's lair.
Yep.
But this means if you go to wreck ship and kill the boss, oh.
Wow, okay.
Oh, wow.
Just everything coming up rusty here.
Man.
Ace is playing a good game, but like Rusty's just running into all the things.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna Photoshop a version of the of Millhouse into a picture of Rusty and just.
Yeah, and Ace is. This looks like a lower Norfair play for Ace as well. So Ace will get that gravity suit shortly, but that plasma beam is going to continue to be a story. I don't see Ace ever getting the plasma beam.
Yeah, it's an absolute massive difference. You see the damage difference at the top. You know, we're looking at 60 damage with just the charge beam versus 450 for Rusty. That means that, you know, everything, including the Ridley fight, the Mother Brain fight, all of it is just a lot easier when you have that plasma. Plus the two of the boss battles and, well, two of the main boss battles and one of the mini boss battles just become an absolute joke. Rusty showing off the spring ball with a little mini Bomberman to escape. Again, and glad runners don't forget that they've got that spring ball. Now Rusty's gonna save.
Well, and then there's because Rusty wants to check what the front of this is.
Yes, so he's gonna do a very dangerous reverse acid dive, which we saw one of our.
This is not that. This amount of health, Rusty should be fine. The save is more so you can reset if you want to come back here, depending on what the other end of this is.
Absolutely, but we've also seen one of the runners / fellow commentators had a really interesting acid dive.
Yeah,
where they made it through this portal and went to Crystal Flash.
Yeah,
but got shot by the pirate in the middle of the Crystal Flash, so it did not go well.
Yeah, the Crystal Flash, you don't have iframes during Crystal Flash, so you will just get killed if you get hit that way. And it was kind of when I watched that race. When I was watching it almost was like it was in slow motion, as I'm just like, no, don't do the Crystal Flash until you kill the pirate type thing. You know? It was also without gravity because, you know, and yeah, there were extra issues with falling and stuff. So it was, you know, there were things that happened.
Yeah, it was pretty ugly. And of course, it just felt, you know, don't blame the person for being a little salty about it. But anyway.
Well, I am confident that person is not watching because they are calling the other race on the other channel.
Got it. Okay.
And here's the other issue for that plasma beam. Now, if Ace gets to 60 supers, that's a perfectly fine fight. And it's actually a faster fight. A 60 super fight is going to be faster than charge plasma that Rusty's going to have. The problem is Rusty doesn't have to do all those checks and doesn't have to have all those 7-second fanfares add up.
Yes, which, I mean, just his aggressive skipping of regular missiles. I mean, what, 25 less, so what, 5 less regular missile checks, that's 25 seconds on its own. You know, or sorry, yep. 35 seconds. Like that adds up quite a bit over time. You know, that's part of why, like, watching Hundo, you know you're in for 10 minutes of fanfares.
It is about 10 minutes of fanfares in Hundo.
At 11 minutes and 10 seconds, 11 minutes and 10 seconds. Yeah, it's some ridiculous amount of time you sit watching fanfares. But
all right, Ace is gonna find Kraid here, which means Ace will get the gravity suit and be in a much less nice go mode than Rusty is, and we'll probably continue to check ammo.
Yeah, and where Rusty at this point is just like, yep, there's no boss down here that I can't kill. Like, I'm very confident that I'm good to go here. It gets that save, so in case something awful happens, it won't be a problem. But I've also seen Rusty, like, in a run, get a powerbomb kill on Ridley, so I know his Ridley fight is confident.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm a little surprised at the save, but it is a Dragon, just because we have so much with that charge beam and such. But yeah, I mean, Ridley is still Ridley, so yeah.
Still can be very unpredictable, and yeah, here's even we're seeing a time save difference that Rusty was able to pull off of. Rusty had the charge and was able to fly across here, and then this is something, again, this is going to be a huge time save that Rusty gets. Doing this microwave beam on Dragon, and you'll notice in a second here, it's taking longer than usual because it isn't a full beam, but
this is a fairly weak beam. It's very tight to actually get the kill on the first set of X-ray with this beam combo. It is doable. I have done it before. It is possible to do.
It looked really close because he started it almost immediately when Dragon appeared on screen. So
very well done.
That was
but yeah,
if you're going to go a low beam damage shot, that was nearly flawless by Rusty there. So
yeah, it's super, super tight. Very well done by Rusty.
Yeah, he one-rounded with just charge plasma. Immediately gets to skip that spacer. Yeah, I mean, this has been a combination of Rusty playing extremely well and the layout just working out really well for him. He's got a sizable lead now with 2 of the bosses down. You know, this being, you know, the wreck ship is now going to be, you know, enter his, there's Spring Ball showing up, but being his back door, he'll never come back here again. Doesn't need to check anything else at this point. No
reason to check anything. Yeah, it's more just the skips, you know, not doing Croc. The stuff that Ace has skipped, the stuff in Criteria, and really it's just the one stuff, because, like, don't get me wrong, it's nice to have that X-ray to do these microwaves, but Rusty would have been fine if he had just gotten the plasma beam and not done the gauntlet for the X-ray. I mean, it's probably, honestly, given the amount of time, even with the screw attack takes through gauntlet, probably come out about even. Whereas that plasma beam is just huge that Ace didn't get. Whereas Ace did the extra the longer X-ray check, doing with the deboost instead of with the space jump, but also did the Croc kill. And if Croc had something useful, then we'd be looking at a different race situation right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's and all those things, those little things, they definitely add up, and where it goes from just seconds to minutes in time. You know, just the fanfare difference alone in items right now, you're talking 5, 6, 7, 8 more pickups. So 56 seconds, that's almost a minute of time right there, just in item fanfares that Rusty hasn't had.
Yeah, and there's just some extra farming that Ace is doing, because we'll want to be at full supers in case this is Ridley. Now, of course, there is one other wrinkle to this whole thing. We've been saying that this is shifted bosses, but it could be surprise bosses. No guarantee that we're going to see a Fantoon and a Ridley. We might see both We might see one of each. We might have one of each is both. We might see two of one of them, or we might see. It's possible we could see neither. We haven't seen. I don't think I've ever seen a seed roll 3 of the same bosses. That'd be interesting if we manage to see that.
I would love to see a quad laser Ridley someday, but
Yeah, I know that's like the chat dream, right? The 4 Ridleys.
oops, all Ridleys. But you know, someone in chat saying they had a practice seed with 3 Fantoons. That's
that's pretty wild.
All right, so we are going to see a third boss happening here. Rusty took a second at the top of Red Tower there to the top of Lower Norfair there to check his routing map. And here's another time we're going to see that. Oh, never mind. He's just like, I'm just going to super this. My beam isn't full.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. Like as well as Rusty did with the microwave on the Dragon fight. This is an easier fight to do with the microwave because Batmoon doesn't have quite as much health as Dragon.
Yeah, but he does. He gets a few shots in, and then still gets the microwave to finish. And
and a nice item. Yeah, nice item there. Just sitting there waiting for our runners.
Arguably the best movement item. Like, I mean, obviously speed is great, but there's a lot of things you can't do that you can only do with high jump boots.
I'm of course have always been pretty partial to space jump because space jump will let you do most things. It can be a little awkward without high jump if you're not used to it, but I don't find it too bad. Ace is going to see this Spazer and will take it.
Yes, for sure. He's going to be happy having that extra damage boost.
Yeah, we go from a 60 to a 120. We double our beam.
Rusty was trying to get the halfy, but got a little hung up on the climb up, so has to resort to just using the space jump to get through.
I'll see if Ace checks anything additionally. Maybe checks this major. I don't think we'll see Ace check anything else.
Yeah, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked that Rusty skipped it at all.
There's no reason. There's zero reason.
Zero is checking it. And gets
waves.
Okay.
Yeah, waves are nice. We get the bad math beam, as I like to call it, because 210, as you see, the damage does not divide into 18,000. Thanks, Deer Force.
However, that does definitely help Zero's damage.
Yeah,
he did a
much
lot of
better.
the fights, with those 40 supers and that now charge wave Spazer much better.
Yeah, I thought Ace might check left supers to see if it was a super missile. But with the 210, maybe at this point is going to be not checking as much ammo unless it's just in the room.
Do want to just while we're watching Rusty execute this Ridley fight, throw a shout out to a tracker, Jestro in the back. Trackers are certainly the MVPs, right behind the runners in these races, because they are so important to make sure that, got an actual just crumble death of Ridley. Okay. But we had a weird one of those in a seed the other day where we had no idea why it happened, but it did.
Okay, just a E-Tank. I'm also... Okay, this might be a stand-up E-Tank. Rusty getting up to the full 7 that you need to do stand-up. There's no other reason to pick up that E-Tank. On the other hand, the amount of time it took to get that E-Tank is about what stand-up is going to save, if you can include door transit. Maybe a little bit less than that, but if he had just skipped it, really not a whole lot of time lost for not having the ability to do stand-up. Of course, once you open the door and you've already committed to looking at the item, you might as well grab it to get that stand-up, and, makes sense. Yeah, and Ace just trailing here. Gonna do these same checks. Gonna get those high jump boots. No extra checks for Ace here because there really aren't any checks for Ace to do that are enough on path to be worth the trouble.
No, definitely not here. And at this point, Ace is done with. There's nothing else she needs to pick up. She's go mode. So
yeah, just we'll probably check Precious because it's in the same room for supers just to get a slightly better fight. And yeah, probably will check the Ridley item. We'll see if Ace decides to take the E-Tank. Is going to grab these high jump boots. I would be shocked if Ace skipped high jump. The amount of complaining, especially with Speed Booster. Like Ace has is a former teammate of mine from League, and then also we've co-opted in SMZ3 a bunch. So that would have been pretty shocking. Definitely wants those high jump boots. And Rusty's going to. I believe this has to be Kraid for Rusty here. At the other end of East Meridian, I believe we've seen everything else.
Yes, this was the last location. But I mean, once this is done, he knows right where Turian is. So we're gonna see what boss we have here. And Rusty is after that headed straight to Mother Brain. So we'll no reason to check anything.
This should be Fantoon. It doesn't have to be Fantoon.
It could even be a Ridley.
Now, we haven't seen any super missiles where there shouldn't be super missiles, so this is pretty highly likely just to be Fantoon. As we, because it turns out if Fantoon isn't in the seed, there's an extra major location, and somewhere in the majors, a super missile will be placed, which, has caused a very confusing situation in a different race, but that's a different story for a different day. So the fact that we haven't seen a super missile on a major location made it, we haven't seen all the major locations. Could be like that super missile could just be a shack tool or something and we'd never see it. But also very nice microwave from Rusty. But it did make it much less likely that this was going to be this was not going to be Fantoon.
Right. Also, very nice pogo control by Ace. She really handled that fight very well. So both runners doing a great job in their boss fights. We're definitely not seeing, like, there's not really a huge difference in movement skill between the two runners. It's just all come down to routing choices, and it's worked out extremely well for Rusty.
Yeah. The difference is Ace, like I said, Croc had nothing, and BT had plasma.
Yeah,
that's pretty much the difference in their routing, and that's that's just the story of this seed. Yeah, we're gonna get anything here. Oh, an ice beam. That's nice.
Well, and we're gonna see the damage climb up even more.
Yeah, the damage. I mean, yeah, 600 is better than 400, but the bigger deal is that now Rusty doesn't have to powerbomb Metroids. So yeah, that's a definite plus there.
Yeah, well, that just speeds up Turian. Means a couple less shots on Mother Brain, so it's a very nice find there.
Well, I mean, I could see Ace picking that up just because, again, there's more good items for Ace to be looking for, and we'll be very happy if she goes ahead and checks that closet and gets the ice beam.
Ice beam, nice beam, never complain. Unless it's early in the seed, because then you have to double shot everything unless you turn it off.
Yeah, once I have literally any other beam with the ice beam, I don't have a problem with it. But when it's just ice beam, yeah, I usually turn it off and hope to remember to turn it back on when the time comes.
Right, and we've definitely seen runners make that mistake of forgetting they've got it at some point. But yeah, this is kind of, we know Ace is about to go fight that same fight, but we see the difference here. And really, this actually says a lot for how, even with all that extra routing, Ace is only really behind this. This Fantoon fight kill and that routing back. So it says a lot for Ace's play that she's really only a couple minutes behind here.
All right, now of course we have the slog all the way back to get to Red Tower to get to
Yeah.
get to Turian.
I've definitely seen far worse routing to have to get back to Turian.
Oh,
in
for
some of
sure,
these.
for sure.
Like, there's some that don't even make it look this nice, or at least this is like doable, where they've been ugly in the past. But
Yeah, the route kind of did itself. There just wasn't a whole lot of places where you had to make a decision. I mean, I don't remember the exact route back to Red Tower, but apparently Rusty has decided this isn't it and is going back up the elevator.
it's the exit of Green Bryn. So
Okay. I mean, it's not unusual because you're looking at your tracker, your map tracker, and usually it's a bunch of different lines connecting your areas in some form or another, and it's very the more lines you get in there, the messier it gets. So this is definitely the better route right here. And for those of you that may have watched last summer in the SG Live tournament, since we only had area, we had a map tracker on screen, which debatable usefulness is because by the time if you didn't catch it from the beginning, it was very hard to look at it and say, okay, here are the things I need that the runners need, and here are the things the runners know. It certainly wasn't completely useless, but it was hard to follow and hard to track. So
great job by Ace through that Fantoon fight.
Ace's boss fights have been on point. That Ridley fight, Ace completed their first low ice run yesterday. So there was a little bit of I definitely saw a little bit of that with the Ridley fight, the pogo manipulation, like you said, and so just really just playing really well. Just chose Croc over BT.
Yep. But yeah, we're also seeing that having that ice beam, which we'll see if Zero makes that play for Craze Closet or not. Does okay. Yeah, Rusty's getting to blow through these Metroid rooms, and
okay, Ace does get the ice beam. A question in chat: do we think Rusty does stand up here? I don't think Rusty picks up that 7th E-Tank without the plan of doing stand up. The E-Tanks that Rusty turned down before that, I'm pretty certain was pre-plasma.
The only questions for me about Rusty at this point are: was he going to try to do fine art, and he almost kind of did? Will he do the Lomian float? And will he do he's definitely, I believe he's definitely going for stand up. Now we'll see which version of the baby Skippy he's going to go for. Gets grabbed.
Whatever version that was going to be, and it kind of looked like the start of the Spring Ball one, but didn't work out. So
does remember to turn right, save the few frames.
Yeah,
if you get grabbed, turn right.
Yeah, and chat pointing out, trying to do that without wave. Maybe that was the oops, I don't have wave. Let's just let the baby grab me. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and of course this is a room where wave is a little bit easier through even that room.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, now Zero is headed towards that same portal and definitely knows where she's going. And Rusty's going to head to first part, and we'll watch see if he's got that speed zeb skip. Of course, we could just do the ice zeb skip here.
I'm not sure why the save. Like, that tells me you're not confident in stand-up, but if you're not confident in stand-up, just don't pick up the E-Tank and just don't take the save. But, okay. I guess, actually, the ammo's kind of, like, 15-15 is... I guess any percent is 2010.
Yeah, so this is...
this is still better ammo for MB1, but, it is tighter than we normally see in a rando.
If you notice, he did a really quick ammo switch to get that plasma shot off on the other rinker there. That was key because you don't want to lose any of those supers. we'll definitely take these 5 super shots, but then with this Charge Ice Plasma, we'll have a pretty easy fight here through MB2.
Also, Ace is going definitely a more scenic route here to get back to Turian.
While we're watching Rusty in this MB2 and Ace is making their way back to Turian, give these runners a follow. They put on a really good show for us. I mean, looks like Rusty's going to be sub-hour and Ace is going to be really close. Just with Ace's play, wow, just coming back from this and being as close as they are with the Croc being brutal and just some of the other routing just not working out. It says a lot for both of their talent. And Rusty, things turned out really well for Rusty, and barring anything really horrible happening, it should be. Not going for stand-up.
No, this is stand-up.
Oh, yep, sorry. Yep. Have to make the jump now off of this beam. Both runners in Turian. The runners are getting nervous when you're in Turian and you... Oh, wow. Zero, that... Oh, wow. Zero, that first Metroid room. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Very nicely done.
Oh, and sets up for the farming through that one. I like that. I really like that. That's... Wow. Okay, room 3. Very well done. Wow, Zero, wow. That's some tier 1 kind of speedrunner, like vanilla speedrunning kind of Metroid rooms. Yeah, that bombing strat on the Super Metroid, or the Metroids, that was really cool. Chat mentions that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a great set of Metroid rooms from AceZer0.
I mean, that's the kind of Metroid rooms you see from from the big 4, big 5 vanilla speedrunners. So that's. And looks like Ace is going to get this. Just got to get through the door without getting grabbed, and does. All right, very nice. Ace having a great Turian. Wow.
Yeah, it's an absolutely beautiful Turian for Ace so far.
And Rusty is done with MB3, so now just has to escape. And here comes the ice Zeb skip for Ace. Gonna have to wait until that second Rika reset.
Yeah, Ace was going for the down back and didn't quite get it, so it has to turn off screw attack to do it without doing the down back. Meanwhile, Rusty in the escape.
Yep, and I believe... Oh, just gonna get a speed. Does remember to hold jump through this door. Very easy thing to forget if you don't practice escape a lot. And something we won't see from Ace, Moonfall. Yep. The last Moonfall of the game. And here comes the climb spark. All right, Rusty is making this final climb up Criteria to surface and is getting ready to head out to the ship. Get your GGs in chat ready, as Rusty is our winner and finishes with a official race time GG of 57:35.
Yeah, very nice time. That'll give Rusty a bracket spot. Ace not out of it yet. Will be playing for their lives next week in the 2-3, trying to get in. It does take 3 wins to make brackets.
Based on Ace's play, I would be shocked if she doesn't get in next week. That watching, she's got very good movement. It's just routing just wasn't great, but like just routing just didn't turn out as well. But you see how close it was in the end. It was still
there was though even with a less efficient route back to Turian, I do believe Ace made up some time there at the end, but wasn't going to be enough even with the other route to Turian. So.
All right, hopefully we'll get our racers into chat soon. At least get Rusty in to start with, or either one at this point.
Yeah, we're gonna get both our runners in because they are finished in real time. Spoilers. Spoiler alert. Let's see who we have so far.
Well, it looks like
I heard someone coming.
All right, it looks like we actually have.
Oh,
we have both now.
Yeah, Ace, you're muted in case you don't know. But GG's to both of you.
Yeah, good race.
Yeah, GG's, Rusty.
Thanks for the fun.
Yep. In the end, Ace, you chose Croc. Rusty, you chose BT. BT had Plasma. Croc had E-Tanks.
Mm-hmm.
That was, I mean, I feel like the routing in this one was pretty straightforward. With just a little bit of few different ways that y'all did criteria and Upper Norfair, but really just kind of came down to those decisions.
Yeah, Croc, like that sucked there, and I didn't know what to do because I first saw it and I didn't have enough E-tanks to even get the item and get back out. I wasn't sure if 2 was enough. If I needed a third tank or movement to get back from the Croc E-tank item. But it felt like if there was something good up at the top of Green Bryn, if that portal was good, I'm never coming back there.
Yep.
So I felt like I had to do it.
Mm-hmm.
If that's a suit or a charge beam, that's I'm throwing the race if I don't do it and Rusty does, basically.
Yep.
But of course I did it and it was nothing. And then you find the suit and the charge beam immediately after, back to back. It was if I had those, there's no way you do Crocs. I was worried about that the whole time. If Rusty just goes up criteria, hits Green Bryn from the other side, there's no way he's doing Croc. It wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, well, you both did meme route, so there wasn't any of that. But when Rusty got back to criteria, did VT, did Gauntlet, got Plasma, got X-Ray, and just a better haul. Rusty, how are you feeling? You skipped Croc. Was there any thoughts of going back, or you were just gonna hope there was nothing there, which came out worked out well for you?
No, I had it on my mind that I might come back if I had better movement items. And I mean, it seemed like Red Tower is well connected, so I would be able to. But because LN was right there, right? Or I'm trying to remember. Anyway, when I got the Croc and I thought I don't want to do this stuff right now. I'll do it later, and then so I just bailed right away. And then when it got to the point where I got Space Jump, and I was thinking of now I can go back and do X-Ray and do Croc, and then it occurred to me I really have a loadout to do LN. I should just start going downhill toward the end of the game and see if I can just runner my way into whatever I need. And that worked out. I did X-Ray, and I was thinking about just running downhill, and it was a reserve tank, and I didn't pick it up. And then I thought, okay, now I'm going to go do LN. And then that just sort of spiraled to the end of the seed. Yeah,
because once you found that gravity suit, there really wasn't much else to look for.
Right. Yeah, I wanted to see if I could grab ice on the way. That's why I was checking all the boss rooms. It's just so much nicer. And so it was there. Yeah, the rest of the nice majors did kind of end up on path. You had a high jump boots at Botwoon, ice beam at the Crate Closet, not too far out of the way. You did miss the wave beam at the right supers. That's a little further out of the way at the point that you were at. I'm not doing that.
Whereas for you, Ace, it made sense for you to do it.
Spazer. Yeah, I just had charge Spazer, so it was Plasma there, ice is huge.
Yep.
So it was worth getting.
I do gotta say I do gotta say for both of you, Rusty, your 1 round Dragon microwave beam, that was impressive because we know that wasn't
hard to do.
Yeah, that's really hard.
That beam. because it
That
was
good.
just plasma. Like I've done that once. That's hard to do.
I was having my doubts, like, is this working? I don't feel like it's doing anything, but eventually, yeah.
And Ace, your Ridley pogo control was absolutely phenomenal. Also, your Metroid rooms
Your
looked
Turian was really good.
yeah, your Turian
Yeah.
altogether was great.
Other than the down back Zeb skip that I
Yeah.
messed up, other than that, like, yeah, the Metroid rooms were like perfect. I mean, that's exactly what I go for in any percent kind of. It is funny that I was trying more low percent stuff to, prepare for a lot of these like nerf charge seeds, where you might go into Ridley with a weak beam, and then of course I get like the any percent loadout to do Metroid rooms, and I'd nail them.
Well,
But-
and also your Ridley fight, like I could see, we did the low percent run yesterday, and I could kind of see some of that with the very nice, with the as Vincent said, the pogo control and all that.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, this was just a really weird seed for me. Like, I felt really bad, not just because of the croc payout, but then I kind of got a little shook, and my movement was pretty bad when I hit like the moat with CWJ, which like I struggle with. I spent like 2 whole minutes on that just to check the portal, but I didn't want to leave it, so like you can't just turn around. And
I bailed on
a
it.
tough
I
one.
tried it like twice, and then I thought, well, I'm gonna just leave.
Yeah, and then of
I don't
course,
want to.
like,
I don't want to stand here.
and then right after that, of course, I get to the bottom of Red Tower, and I was checking things, and I was like, I really should check X-ray on the way through. I have like Varia, and I had 5-in-1 tanks and bombs as a backup.
You had bombs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's
like,
like-
I have to. And then of course I actually nailed the strat, but like it still was really slow, and it was just the reserve. So it's
Yeah.
like this
Yeah,
is such a punishing seed for me. Like,
Yeah, like I said, it's just the extra things that Rusty checked compared to the extra thing you check. It just kind of told the tale. The Rusty gets plasma, you get reserve tanks. So,
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I was saying through this, Ace, it says a lot about you as a runner. That's with it, because it did play out really well for Rusty, but for you to only be a few minutes behind, it said a lot to your play and your ability through that race to keep it close. It was, I look forward to you watching your race next week, and I honestly believe you'll get that third win and move on in the bracket. But Rusty, congrats on getting your third win and guaranteeing yourself the next round.
Thank you.
yeah, I mean, I do want to say, like, with as straightforward as the map was, like that, like makes it easier to execute. Like, obviously, I had some issues in the middle, especially like before high jump boots. But I think if it's like a really convoluted, awful map, like Rusty probably makes better decisions than me on where to go, instead of like us both just being kind of funneled down the path. that might make a difference. But I guess I do want to know real quick: did Rusty go to like Lower North or commit to that before I did? I felt like I didn't want to do that because I didn't have a way to kill Dragon. Like,
Oh yeah, I went to
That's
LN without a real
kinda
way of
bold.
killing Dragon, which was gutsy, but I saved.
I think you had to. I mean, obviously I had Crystal
Yeah.
Flash ammo, but like that's awful to Crystal Flash and
Crystal Flash without
get
grapple.
the suit and then
Oof.
do the ammo kill after. Like,
Yeah,
there's,
that's a
that's
tough one.
so bad. But
I mean,
like,
I
the
would have.
other-
I guess I would have tried it, but probably wasn't.
like,
Well, I
the
would have been
only-
able to microwave, huh? Yeah. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah. Well, Rusty did get to Lower Norfair first, but
Yes.
at that point,
Okay.
it was more of a like within the routes you took. I think you made the decision to go to LN at the same time within your routes, if that makes sense. It's just Rusty was further along in that
Okay.
route. So.
And did you also check Mama Turtle before, like, drop down for the Mama Turtle check?
No.
That felt really slow.
Oh,
but
I
it was
forgot
like,
about that. Yeah, you did
Never
that
did
too.
that.
if it's the cutie play where it's just gravity sitting there for
Yeah,
you,
yep.
like,
Oh yeah, cutie.
That's
like,
right. That's right.
I felt like I had to, because I was right there. Like, I hit the portal that the red fish room, and I was like, it's kind of a backtrack to get to where I think I need to go, which is LN. So I'm going to check this on the way, and if it's like, I don't know.
And it
if
was
it's-
also an
it's
E-tank.
gravity. It's like maybe I win, like based on that alone.
Yeah.
but it was garbage and
Yep.
a time sink. But that's okay.
All right. Well,
Fun race anyway. GG.
in any case, good luck to both of you next week. Rusty, you're going to be playing for seeding. Ace, you're going to be playing to get into the bracket. Anything else either one of you wants to add before we close this out?
No, just thanks for comms, and good luck, Rusty, going forward. Thanks for Jesto for tracking too.
Yeah, thanks everybody for setting it all up.
All right, that is gonna do it for us then. The other race is already over, but it was on SpeedGaming too, so check out the VOD for that. We do have 2 races coming up tomorrow. We have another 2-2 matchup between D-Web and Mass Hysteria. That'll be at 5 o'clock. And then we have the rematch of Cross Product versus Craze Gamer. That'll be at 8 o'clock. That is a 1-3 matchup. That is going to be our runners playing for their bracket lives. One of them will be eliminated after that race tomorrow. And that'll be the end of week 5. Might be a little bit delayed getting week 6 because there's a lot of nuances in getting that week 6 schedule out. But week 6 is going to be exciting. Going to be a lot of really interesting races coming up.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's been a lot of fun through this. I want to thank both the racers for a great race tonight. Thanks to Jestro for being awesome on tracking, and Tracy, been a pleasure working with you again.
Oh, always, Vincent, always. Yeah, if you're not already following the runners, I think we may put it in recently, but we'll put it in again just in case, so you can click on those links. And yeah, as you say, always a pleasure to work with you, Vincent and Jestro. I can't say enough about everything you do for us in terms of both the setup and the SpeedGaming setups and the tracking. But yeah, go ahead and close us out, Vincent.
All right, well, thank you everyone for coming out. Hope you guys enjoyed this race. I know I did, and I know I'm going to be looking forward to the last couple races of this, and into week 6, our final week of the regular season before we hit that bracket. For Tracy and Jestro and the racers, I'm Vincent RTA, and we will see you next mission.